Good morning, everybody. I wanted to mention this. This is my website, just in case YouTube decides to shut down or anything like that. Recently, there was a big Facebook purge. So you can find me on the iTunes podcast store or library, the Google podcast library, just under Canada Poly, and CanadaPoly.com. So check it out if you're interested in watching outside of YouTube. And I'm not begging for anything here. It's just... that's my website. Okay, so into it. Faith Goldy tweeting this morning, quote, "In violation of our signed contract and CRTC guidelines, on Sunday night, Rogers Media banned Faith Goldy campaign radio ads set to begin Monday morning. The media truly is the enemy of the people. These unelected hacks are engineering, stealing Toronto's election." And then there's links to emails from the Rogers campaign. It says, "To Ms. Goldy, I am writing to inform you that after due consideration and in accordance with the cancellation provision in Section 5.4 of the Rogers Media Standard Sales Terms and Conditions, Rogers Radio has decided not to accept your ad for mayoral campaign on our local Toronto news radio station. I will arrange for your payment to be returned to your campaign on Monday. Regards." And it says the person. So you can check out the tweet itself. The link is in the description. So Faith is to not be deterred. She is at McDonald's, doing her campaign shtick, and I had a whole section lined.
The homeless people who deserve it. Tell your family, tell your friends. We're going to be going to McDonald's all throughout the week up until Election Day on October 22nd. We're number 11 on the ballot. Remember, folks, we're for Toronto, we're for the people, and we are of the people. God bless everyone. Have a great day. Vote number 11, Faith Goldy. Thanks so much, everyone.
Okay, so there's a whole 2-minute video, and she does her whole spiel. She lets everybody know kind of her main campaign points and hands out some campaign flyers. And they intend to go to other McDonald's and hit McDonald's up. So I think it's a good strategy, especially after the media is silencing them and not accepting their ads, and waiting until the absolute last minute to tell them that, like, they have a signed deal, the whole deal, and then right up at the last minute, boom, no, sorry. And that's a strategy as well, because they're just burning time, right? Oh yeah, sure, we'll air your ads, but and then when it comes time to do that, they don't actually do it. I thought this was funny. Joe Warmington, and it'd be hilarious as I mispronounced that name, tweeted out, quote, "If you're in Toronto and it was election day today, who would you support as your choice for mayor? Once you select, please retweet so we can get a bigger sample size." I'm not in Toronto. I wanted to see what the vote was, so I voted for it, and I voted for Faith Goldy. So sorry, I'm skewing the poll, but I thought that was interesting. I thought the John Tory Keesmit mirroring, well, Keesmit 6%, but it kind of mirrors what the polls want us to believe, and that's kind of the right. Tories winning, Keesmit second, Faith Goldy is third. But obviously in this poll, Faith Goldy is far ahead. And I mean, that could be Twitter, that could be the audience of Mr. Warmington, that could be all sorts of things. Totally unscientific poll. But I thought the percentage was interesting, and the reflection of it's the same three candidates, right? Or not the same three candidates, but like it's the structure looks very similar, except the runaway candidate isn't John Tory, right? I thought that was interesting. Anyway, so tweet is in the description. See for yourself. And I think she's way more popular than the media is attempting to give her credit for. And I think we're going to see really soon. I mean, I will see. Maxime Bernier is tweeting as well, and so I said in my video the other day, I'm not sure why Andrew Scheer is in India. There's a lot of domestic stuff that needs to be dealt with. I mean, if you've got question period and you've got Justin Trudeau who needs to answer questions, and fair enough, he doesn't answer questions. He really doesn't. He doesn't do any answering questions at all. But you've got to, I mean, we're a year out from the election. There's tons of stuff to hit Trudeau on, and not that you want to create unrest. And I mean, clearly Scheer doesn't want to create unrest because he's as milquetoast as it gets. I mean, like, there are things that would really tick people off if you really started talking about them honestly. And I don't know. Maxime Bernier is doing a good job of it. So anyway, he's calling Andrew Scheer out on this kind of, it's all about optics, this trip. I'm pandering to India. We're increasing our friendship with this, country. And I don't have a problem with India. I like India. They're wonderful people and all of that other stuff. But we've got stuff to do with in Canada. We got to deal with stuff in Canada, right? Not in India. And so anyway, Max says, quote, "And here's what I offer Canadians who happen to have immigrated from India and all other Canadians. Smaller government, no more pandering to ethnic, religious, or interest groups, respecting our constitution, lower taxes, abolish corporate welfare, lower immigration levels, etc." And so he's trying to, and succeeding in my opinion, draw a clear line in the sand. I'm not going to make stupid trips to foreign countries to pander to domestic voting blocs. I'm going to commit to smaller government, no pandering to ethnic or religious or interest groups. And man, do I ever want to return to that. Please, can we return to that? Can we also return to not funding terrorist groups? That would be wonderful. Here's another Maxime Bernier tweet from the other day. It says, quote, "Trudeau announces another $25 million from Canadian taxpayers to try and solve social and, quote, sexual health problems in Africa. Aren't these countries responsible for solving their own problems? Is the Canadian government becoming the welfare state of the planet?" And it's a link to Justin Trudeau interview in French. So, I mean, wonder, it's shocking it's not reported in Canadian English media. Here's a press conference. Justin Trudeau is announcing $25 million, I believe. Oh, sorry, $14.25 million. Here's a clear tweet. $14.25 million in funding to strengthen infrastructure development in Indonesia. Have you guys driven on the 401 recently? Wouldn't $14.25 million just be wonderful to expand and, work on the gridlock that Canadians, Torontonians deal with every single. But no, let's spend $14.25 million in Indonesia. That's really important right now, right? And if you're interested, here's a list of all of the money that Justin Trudeau has spent on foreign countries to date, and it's just a staggering list, just staggering. So link will be in the description. This is our money. This is our credit card. This is our credit card, not our money. We don't have this money. We're going to be... The GST was instituted to dig us out of the hole that Justin's father dug us into. Right? So GST 2.0. Maxime Bernier is... this is more People's Party platform memes and things being put out. I appreciate it and I like it. So, quote, "Instead of sending billions of dollars to other countries, we should use that money to cut taxes or help Canadians in need here in Canada." Maxime Bernier. And the last thing I'll leave you with is not something happening in Canada, but something happening in the UK. I don't know if you are familiar with what Marks and Spencer's is. Marks and Spencer's used to be a pillar of English society. Well, everybody had a Marks and Spencer's. It was the Walmart of England, I guess. That's maybe a bad comparison. My mom is British, and she's still British. She's a landed immigrant. She's didn't take Canadian citizenship. She kept British citizenship. And we used to go back to England. I remember a couple of my first Christmases in England, and my granddad was a gunner on on convoy ships during the Second World War. Okay, and he had very strong opinions about how England should be moving forward. And I feel like if he was alive today and saw this, and it's a picture of Marks and Spencer's selling a child's hijab, he would just weep. I don't think there's any other response. So I'm boycotting Marks and Spencer's, just so everybody knows. I'm boycotting them. Terrible. England for British citizens. Come on. This is just terrible. Terrible. Sad. Okay, well, that's it for me. Have a good afternoon. Have a good day. Have a good week. It's Monday, everybody. Your tax dollars at work across the world. People's Party of Canada.ca. Thanks for watching.